Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood number 94 in a 630 finish. This is a flush pole, typical common flush pole that you're going to see in primarily commercial applications, occasionally residential, but it's a bit large for a residential sort of application. You say have a residential application, you generally go with something a bit smaller, but for commercial this is a great use. However, it's not ADA compliant, so it's not compliant with handicap requirements, but nonetheless, most doors like this would be other than a handicap compliant application, meaning where would you use this? On a closet? You know, it may not be handicap compliant required. So there you go. This is in the satin stainless steel finish. That's 630. 630 means two things. It means, first of all, that it's made of stainless steel, and that it has a brushed satin finish on it. This is going to include the 4 fasteners that you need. They appear to be, they look like they're a number 6, even though Rockwood says 8. They're a number 8 by 3/4 oval head screw. Those are also stainless steel, or at least they're not ferrous. Dimensional properties, let's go over that now. They have it at 3.5 by 5, an overall depth of about 7/8. They've got a grip size of 1.75 by 3 1/8. That's all pretty accurate there. With a depth of 7/8. That appears to be correct. Great piece of hardware, simple, inexpensive, common. Now, how do you prep for it? Well, that's easy. In my opinion, it's super easy. A router is what you'll do with this. If you're doing more than one or a couple, make a template. Simply get a piece of wood, make that rectangle the way you need. You'll create that with your router, setting up stops, squaring out your corners if you want to on the templates. You know, depending on how you do it and how much concern you put into it, meaning you can run that router a little bit long because you've got some margin there, obviously on the top. How much slop and play do you want inside of the hole? You know, that's what you'll determine. Your hole size will be based on, of course, or the template hole size will be based on the width and the height, naturally, than whatever your router bit and your collet require. The depth, you know, that's easy. You'd probably want to use a plunge router. You wouldn't want to try to get that much taken out in one pass. A plunge router would be great. Before you, well, anyway, about the template, I would prefer to do that. If I was making more than 2, I wouldn't consider doing them by hand. It's too brutal to do it by hand. Also, make your template so that you're setting your back set correct. You know, maybe run it down from the top of the door down to your center line, margin the edge of the template off to the edge of the door, clamp it down, and then run your router over it. Is what I would do. It's just the bottom line. Before you go placing it on the door, you might want to take an audit of the balance of the doors in the space to make sure that you're matching that top of door to center line, meaning you might have a corridor, a long corridor, where you've got 5 or 10 office doors on one side of the corridor, but then you've got a sliding door. You want that line of sight to be nice and even and consistent down the hallway. So review that before you mortise for it. There is a link below this video to the document called Product Template, which will be everything I just blabbed on about. The mortise size is there. Mortise size 3 3/4 tall, 2 13/16 wide, 7/8 deep. Let's check that. 3 3/4, sure, that would work. That'd be plenty big enough. 2 13/16, sure. Yeah, that would work as well. Depth of 7/8, yeah, we know that's going to work. This is pushing 3/4 inch. Okay. Then, of course, you then will pre-drill your holes and insert your screws for your installation. There's also a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure, which is very handy because it will allow you to review the 94 against their other sister products as it pertains to these flush poles. The different items that you're going to see here will vary in terms of their mounting type. The 94 is surface mounted. The 94C is concealed. That's going to have lugs that will go through the back side of it so that it's a concealed sort of mount. Forgive me. fasteners are within the cup, so you're going to have screws top and bottom. You'll have other versions of the item where you can install a deadbolt. That would be the 94 DLL or 94 DLS. Then the 94L that's got the lugs that go through the door. If you expect a significant amount of volume on the door, you might consider that. The 94P version is going to be the one side of the 94L. The L will have the lugs. The P can mount up to the back of that with machine bolts. What's not shown down here, and it shows actually at the bottom, what's not shown here is the ADA compliant version of the item, and I'm going to pull that up so that you have that part number. By the time you're reviewing this video, I will have had the product brochure amended to include the missing items. The barrier-free version is the BF97. Now the BF97 barrier-free, it's 97. What makes it barrier-free is the substantially large grip opening, which is 2.5 by 2.5 by 3.5, available in the surface mount model, and then the BF97L, which is the through-bolt model as well, which is always a good idea with handicap compliance because of the way in which the door is employed to help the user get through the opening is the bottom line. I find it to be always a good idea to through-bolt hardware, quite frankly, regardless. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the product catalog where you'll be able to see all things trim and auxiliary hardware related. And that line of hardware, the name Rockwood, is absolutely synonymous with an industry-wide level of acceptance. People understand the name, what they do, the quality that Rockwood stands for. It's a pleasure to review their products because the fit and finish is always very excellent. It's 99 times out of 100, it's exceptional. And that sort of batting average is what you need in the hardware industry. Hardware industry is 5% of the project, but 95% of the problems is what we like to say. Finally, on that manufacturer's page is a link to the architectural door pull catalog. If you've ever wondered where those 7-foot-long door pulls on the front of the bank or the restaurant or whatever it is come from, Rockwood's a leader in that material. They have everything when it comes to custom door pulls, a 75-page long catalog version of all of it. If you have any questions on the Rockwood number 94 in a 630 finish, and of course you'll be able to get this in all of the architectural finishes, your brasses, your bronze, your chromes, your oil rubbed. You can do this in the Micro Shield version as well, which is an antibacterial, a coating that will retard the bacteria's ability to live on the surface. You can also do this in a 316 type stainless. If you wanted it to be of higher grade stainless, if it was a coastal application, you could also do it in a polished as well. Any questions on this or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us.